Groups themselves have been independently doing things for the school, which is in itself a good thing. But if we can only tap the entire strength of the alumni, that will be vast and that will be really good for the schools and for the efforts that the trust is putting in. Unfortunately, we are not able to convince all the alumni that they root their contributions or what they want to do for the schools through the trust, so that we can have a kind of a sustained effort and a common vision to take forward the schools. We will really appeal to all the groups, including your group, to sort of root whatever you want. It's not that there's nothing in the class, the act or the clauses of the constitution of the trust that forbids any kind of support to the schools. Mr. Ganesh here mentioned about we not being able to do other soft, but that all depends on what the alumni want. We do not take decisions in the sense that within the 12 people of the board, we can only supervise infrastructural development. But if you want to develop soft skills and so on, we need suggestions, we need advice, we need people who will actually expertise and be able to do these things. If you want to develop soft skills, if you want to train the teachers, if any group can identify people who will be able to deliver this, we will raise the money on their behalf. We will try to execute the project, but the ideas and the suggestions as well as resource mobilization has to come from the alumni. We can only, as a trust, send out appeals through a website or to appeal to individuals. But beyond that, support from all the alumni to expand their activities. Few of us supervise construction activities, civil works that are being done in the schools and so on. That is all the expertise we have within the trust. But we need expertise of all the alumni of various kinds to be able to take forward and diversify our the trust activities in whatever form possible. So, with that effect, in fact, next year during our Golden Jubilee get-together, which we are proposing to have next year in 2017, we want to have a major of all alumni get-together in Delhi. I hope your batch and other batches do spread the word so that we can have a major get-together in Delhi and talk about the activities that we can propose and carry out for the schools, so that the schools develop and we bring back the glory of the schools of old days. So with those few words, if anybody is interested in the kind of details of the works that we have carried out so far, some of the details are available on the website in terms of expenditure that we have done over the years. But more details, for example, this school we renovated in the year 2011 to 2012. We spent about 34 lakhs to redo the work, and that was mobilized entirely through appeals to individuals, and we did manage to collect, but that mobilization was championed and campaigned by the 1967 batch of Mandir Marg School. So like that, we want groups of individual schools or individual groups to start campaigning for whatever they have in mind, whether it be soft skills, whether it be infrastructural development, or whether it be of any kind of support that the school they would like to give to the school. So that kind of approach, if we have a pan school and pan alumni approach, we can do a lot more to the schools, because as I said earlier, the total strength of the pool of alumni is enormous and it is really vast and great, and we should be able to tap it in every form possible and every way possible. Thank you, sir.
Sir, Mr. Natarajan sir, to kindly come and bless us with your advice and share your thoughts on this occasion with us. Thank you.
Friends, this is indeed a very unique opportunity for all of us to be together under one umbrella to take stock of what has happened all along and what the road ahead before us. Before I share my reminiscences or comments about how we have grown as a group, I would like to first thank the weather gods for having showered from above, blessing all of you, 1966 batch, in its own unique style. You deserve that divine blessings also. We have started well. With almost all the batches of all the schools during the last 4, I have an insight into the working of your network, how you are progressing restored once again. I am very happy about it. I am in personal touch with many of you, particularly 1966 batch. In fact, every batch has been dear to me. As a faculty member, I like all the students of all the schools in all the batches. And luckily, I am in touch over the computer media with almost all the students over the years. And it's really a pleasure to be interacting with young minds, even though we have parted ways physically. Sometimes I influence them by talking to them whenever there is a need. Sometimes they give me some inputs so that I get enlightened. Thanks to the internet, things are going well in the right direction. In sometime way back 25 years ago, when I happened to be in the US to visit my children, very pleasant surprise, and we had a wonderful time there talking about the earlier days, and he hosted me at lunch at his place, and he reciprocated his visit to my place also. And I am really thankful that the student community is really interacting with their teachers irrespective of their time lapse. And after having come to India also, PS happened to talk to me from Chennai, and we had a wonderful talk. That way, I feel the conversation is going on well, and rightly so, between the teaching community and the ex-students, the alumni. And in that direction, the DTA Alumni Trust also is doing their best to see that the school does its job, delivers on the promise properly, and it's a concerted effort. All of you know that this MEA or the DTEA has been an absolute symbol of total community effort. We didn't have money 60 years ago. When I joined DTEA 60 years ago, and I have seen the infant stage of this great organization with only one school there. There was no financial resources, but we were rich otherwise. Nobody should beat us. Nobody could beat us those days, because we stood on a firm ground, and that was to take the community forward and to give a helping hand to the young children who needed education in an alien place like Delhi. And we succeeded quite a bit those days with limited resources, but with the resources available from the community. They gave ideas. So many bureaucrats in the central government came forward. They gave us a helping hand. PHS Iyer, he started the institution so well, and it has grown like a banyan tree, as somebody was telling. It's all wonderfully well. But over the years, things have started undergoing a kind of a metamorphosis, a change. After all, it's an evolutionary change. Things do change, and we should accept the change without any prejudice. But now a stage has come when we, after 50, 60 years of association with the schools, we want to see or dream about the glory of the erstwhile MEA. It's a longing, and a rightful longing in the minds of all of us, that we must go back to those days. After all, nothing is impossible. We should be optimistic that the time has now come for us to take stock of where we are and how we proceed further, so that our dream of getting the old glory of MEA, not in terms of infrastructure or money or other resources, but in terms of values, achievements, and in terms of the community effort. That particular thing, for which money is not very much needed, but a kind of a atmosphere, a congenial atmosphere for all of us to grow. The school has to deliver to these children the vital, the focus of the entire thing is the child, around which the edifice of DTA, MEA, Parents Association, toward that end can we sit together and put our resources together. What shall we do about it? Unfortunately, there has been a downside for the last about a few years, but that does not matter. That should not dampen our spirit. We should now understand that given the will, given the right type of leadership, the old glory can again be brought back with money or without money. That's how the school grew all along. And we were number one school in Delhi, as somebody was pointing out, in those days. We could again aspire to be that, but for that, the road ahead is rather difficult. But we are going to do it. As ex-principal, I can give my ideas. As teachers, many of the retired teachers can give their ideas. As so many bureaucrats who have passed out of this school, so many big professionals, all of them are willing to give their best to see that the school gets back its glory. I think we should work in the direction, and I already find a kind of a tsunami or a wave, a new trend is now setting in all over the country, even outside the country, that it is time that we will pull our socks together and see that we get back those dreams realized. Therefore, in that, as teachers, we are prepared to give our support because we have our experience. And I have seen the olden days also. Whatever is possible, we can contribute. And as students, as retired people, as senior citizens, you have your experience also. And the existing staff members, the existing parents, they have to be taken on board. And we as a group, I think should look ahead and plan a bit more seriously. As somebody was pointing it out, 1923 the school started, 2023 is very much at the doorstep. Matter of another 7 years, it is going to be the greatest event of Delhi, the centenary celebration of the MEA. And towards that end, I think we should start preparing right now, right honest, in all directions, pooling all the resources, all the students from wherever they are, and see that our school again is put on a sound footing in terms of quality and values. For that, I think all of us are in unanimity, and that's the work, not in tangent, but as a cohesive unit. So you have my blessings in all your ventures, and I have been invited by Thadu, even for the DT Alumni Union in Madras 3-4 years ago, and almost every year in Delhi, some group or the other always meets. And one good thing is our students are so fond of the institution, and they never forget to invite the teachers wherever there's a union. I mean, the bond is something which is beyond words, and that has to be encashed. And we must see that this goodwill is translated into some action, visible action, so that the glory of the DTA or the MEA is brought back. My blessings are always with you. Thank you very much.
To inform you all that in the last 10-15 years that the trust has been in operation and we've been doing various things. As much as I do not want to discount that, there have been various batches like Lakshmana Nagar, Lodi Estate, they have been doing for their respective branch and things like that. With all that, after almost 20 years or so, last year we had one student coming in the merit list, which is a very big achievement in my opinion, because from those days where we used to have almost 10-15 people out of 25, suddenly around the 90s it totally petered out. We didn't have anybody in the merit list at all. Last year we've had one person. So we hope, again we start with one and we hope it improves in the other point I just wanted to mention was quite a lot of people were saying that you only brought the people together, alumni together and things like that. It is not that. Like I mentioned, we are all here together because of the institution, because DTA is such a great thing. Not that I did anything. I happened to just talk to a few people, get them together. That's about it. But otherwise, the institution is so great. Like sir said, I'm sure by 2023, we'll be back to those good old days. Thank you very much.
Very good, very good.
Is the presence of Dr. Ganesh Mani. Is he there? You know, invite Sundari teacher to bless us with her thoughts.
It's okay. I first vowed that I will keep a low profile as I come here. But then it's where do you want to go? I'm going to Mandirma DT school. What for? We are celebrating. All the students have invited, ex-students have invited me. Which year, ma? Because you see, usually there have used to have been 2 or 3 get-togethers like this. 76 batch, 73 batch, etc. So he was asking me, which year? I said it is 1966. He jumped half a century. But I cannot believe it is half a century. They would be very old than you. I said, I was teaching them, so they must be younger than me. So this is how I really felt a new picture of what I am undergoing. Otherwise, I was just taking it as an invitation from my ex-students and I was just invited. But now the way the new perspective he has put in, told me, oh, 50 years, half a century is something unimaginable. And these students in various forms, they are not students anymore. Some are some are out of the way, out of reach, etc. They all have got together in order to celebrate this half year century, what can I say, half century celebrations. So all the best from my side, and the endeavor that they have all given really assure that you all will have a very bright prospect of bringing up this DTA to a very solid foundation. Thank you all very much. Mr. Venkata.
So, we are so blessed to have all of you here, and I am really moved and interact with you. And Mr. Ganeshan has rightly envisaged a Mission 2023, and you together could able to bring that glory of this GTA back to its old glories. With that aim only, I am just putting my efforts as a PTA president in Mandir Mall to interact with the children and encourage them. And there is a vast difference, that is, you have studied and the kind of children we are having. Among you, we might have around, out of 35, around 20 to 25 students of some 10-15 extraordinary students and some 10 above average and some only few numbers of students who could also brought up here by the teachers. But the scenario I have observed for last 4 years as PTA president here has vastly changed. You have only a few bright students, and other students, because of the kind of environment they are put in, most of the parents are illiterate and they don't have a conducive environment for them to get on with their studies. So they are in a pressure cooker situation where they are not able to concentrate in their studies. Teachers are trying their best to help them to come up. Because of you did not have that distraction that these are having. Most of the children, they are with their 2 thumbs, and most of them are before the spending time before the TV. Teachers are also not able to help them as much as they like to. So, as you old students, if you could help and come inspirational talks to these children, because as you were obedient children to your parents, I was obedient children to my parents. But the children of nowadays are no more. They don't want to hear anything from their parents nor from their teachers. That they want to resist. So if people like you come and talk to them, and if you could help us in arranging some counselors to talk to them, certainly as a third person they may hear you. What I have seen is my daughter used to tell, Papa, you don't come and preach us in the assembly. Don't tell anything how we should move about, what we should do and what we should not do. So as a third person, if either the alumni trust or the alumni, if you could arrange for some counseling and talk to the people, especially the children of this Mandirmar school and especially the Pusa school children, they need lot of talkings. The parents also need. Because for my counseling, I took my children to women's. They said, we want to observe your husband and wife along with your children for 1 month in house. Then only we can counsel them and counsel you. So the kind of situation the children are there, how much teacher tries to put up, it is not seeping into their mind. They are in such a situation. The environment they are living in such a condition. You have a wonderful environment in your house and the surroundings. But the children studying in this, especially in Mandirmar school and Pusa Road schools, they do not have that conducive environment for study. How could you expect them to come up and study? The ratio of the brighter children vis-a-vis the children of low average is very vast. As he said, only one has come up in merit list. In the olden days, as Mr. Ganesh has pointed out, quite number of ranking students. The board bears the truth. There are a lot of ranking students who come out from this school. So the children, they need some talks. They need to understand, as Mr. Ganeshan has, I completely agree with them. You have to talk to them. We have to tell them what is life is all about. Of course, they may be knowing, but they may not be knowing what they are going to face. That stark reality of life, still they are not able to understand and recognize. Before they go out of the life and realize it will be too late. So I would be urge upon the alumni, if you could arrange some very good counseling, or some of you, if you could come and interact with the children and the parents, it would help to go a long way. I also serve this because I have emotional attachment to this. Though I have studied not in Delhi, I have emotional attachment with the schools. Some of my relatives have studied, and I moved by the memoirs of Principal Nadarajan's. It will bring tears in your eyes when you read the memoirs written by Principal Nadarajan. So I would urge upon all of you to help in giving hand to bring these students, help them to realize what they should live, how to achieve something in life, so that it will help them to come up in life and lead as a good, they will become a good citizens. Because it bears truth, the institution, all of you remember this institution. As he said, you should, what this school have, this school has make proud of you, you make the school proud of you. I want you make the children realize the exact thing. This school is making you proud of this institution. You should make the school proud of this. So I request all of you to help together. If we work, certainly we could take the school to the world glory, because there is nothing that is impossible. Anything can be achieved. Thank you very much.
A cross section of people involved in this whole venture. And the points you have made are quite valid. We have also been concerned about it in our previous discussions with some of the teachers and principals of the school. We have been visiting on and off, and some of us really were quite disturbed to know that why we are not able to take it up. And certainly I think the Alumni Trust and our own associations in our this thing would try to go into this merits. It does mean that if you have to, because it does not involve money, it involves motivational, and many of us are involved in corporates where we have run motivational courses. The Delhi chapter, I'm sure Ganesh can look into it as a former IIM person. He could also maybe evolve like counseling session to be motivated. And as everybody says, nobody listens to your parents. I mean, child doesn't listen to the parent, but he'll perhaps listen to the third party, and that too a successful, so-called successful person they may listen to. And